All right, so hello everyone. Today I've been joined by Peter Hain from GHD. Welcome, Pete. Thanks for doing this video with me.
Hi, Josh. Pleasure.
So, Pete, probably just to start out for everyone, tell us a little bit about you and your role at GHD.
Yeah, Josh, I'm market leader for our region here in southern Queensland for GHD, and what that role entails is really the leadership of our market strategy here in Queensland across the 5 markets that GHD operates in.
Okay, yeah, enjoy it. You've obviously been GHD for quite some time, so yeah.
Yeah, I've been here almost 18 years.
Yeah, right.
Various roles, not the same role in that whole period of time, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
definitely enjoy the client engagement piece.
Yeah, good. So for everyone watching, like I've been working with the GHD leadership team for a while now, so that includes their market leaders and client relationship managers, and I've just got a few questions here for Pete from probably a manager's or an overseeing point of view. So Pete and I have worked together from a coaching point of view in a previous life or a few years ago, but Pete's really asked me to come into the team at GHD here to help with the leadership team. So I'll probably just lead out, Pete, with the first question, which is, what have been the benefits to GHD having your leaders and engineers coached by me privately and through those group coaching sessions?
Well, I think I could probably answer that in 2 ways. I mean, first of all, how did I even come to know that this was beneficial? As you touched on, I'd worked with you previously and some of your coaches in a past life.
Yep.
And it was probably only about 12 months ago I started to think about, well, how has that benefited me, and is there any elements of that we could take into what we're doing here at GHD? And I think, well, the first answer to that question is yes, it's benefited me enormously. I almost feel like I'm a slightly different person than what I was 18 years ago.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have some of the interpersonal skills that I've now got through some of the coaching work we'd done in the past, I think I would have, I don't think I'd be in this role for one. So yeah, I took that forward and I started working both within the business and then talking to yourself about how do we do this in a corporate environment to, I guess, enhance the leadership skills in the front end of what we do in professional services. So it's probably wouldn't matter if it's an engineering or technical based business or any professional services business. There's obviously a client front end and a service delivery end as well, and I kind of saw a bit of a gap in what we were doing. So the benefit has been quite large, I feel, even though it's early days. Just getting allowing our leaders to uncover a little bit more about themselves, which ultimately benefits not only them but the experience of our people internally and externally.
Yeah, great. And then obviously, a little bit of time has passed since I first started working with the team, but how quickly did you start to see some results and shifts in the leadership team here at GHD?
I think, and I know this to be true for myself, I think there's some quick wins which will happen because people get some really quick aha moments with certain elements of what they're doing, and that's really pleasing to watch because some of that can be quite immediate. And then I think there's some longer, slower burn issues that people will deal with, and I've dealt with them myself. I'm still uncovering stuff about myself, somewhat 17, 18 years on. Yeah. So yeah, it's a combination, but some people will have quicker wins, depends on where they've come from.
Yeah. Look, I certainly noticed that, like in the market leaders and client relationship managers that I've worked with. There are those initial aha moments where they go, oh, okay, that's why I do what I do. That's why I'm having a problem developing that relationship with a key client, or that's why I'm struggling to develop rapport with my team or get the most out of my team. There's those kind of initial aha moments where they really get a lot out of that, and they can make big shifts, and it's kind of noticeable quite straight away. And then you're right, there's those slower burn things that are perhaps a little bit more buried and a little bit more uncomfortable to kind of excavate and understand, and that does take a bit of time. But yeah, I've certainly noticed that there's the short-term stuff, which is really, really powerful and impactful, and there's the bigger, longer-term stuff, which...
I think the quicker wins, if I think about it, are probably the things that people have been if you're like grappling with it day to day now, they've already started to try and do a few things.
Yep.
So they're, I feel like they're teetering on the edge of actually solving it for themselves,
Yep.
and then you've come through and unblocked it, for want of a better term, and then that's been the quick win. The slower stuff, as you said, is a little bit more challenging.
Sometimes it's still a work in progress. So in terms of like the results that we've got for some of the market leaders and client relationship managers, like what has been some of the things that have moved the needle the most for GHD as a business?
I think first thing I'd say is this stuff is very hard to measure, so I wouldn't say, look, we've gone from X to Y. It's not as simple as that. But I think if we can get our people either working together more effectively in the interrelationships within GHD, that's a quick needle move as well.
Yeah.
So it's about, I'd almost say it's 50-50. It's sort of the internal benefit versus, in my case, where I look after a lot of what our client engagement piece is about, how quickly you get a turn in the needle out there.
Yeah.
And the two are very linked, and I think we've had a bit of benefit from both needles moving. But as I said, very hard to measure.
Yeah, internally and externally. I mean, you notice within your teams, if they're working better together, you notice that they're, like, one of the things I've really worked with, every person that I've worked with has always been about, like, what are your personality strengths? Like, what are your natural, what are the things that you do day to day that you really enjoy, that you love, that if, you could do all day, every day, you'd be quite inspired in your role. So it's giving people an awareness around that. And what are the things that you really flattens your energy and you can't stand doing, and looking at ways you can actually empower the leaders that I'm working with to then inform the team below them, or delegate more, or learn about their team's natural strengths and weaknesses, and the more that the leaders can be in their unique skill set, and the team below them are all in their unique skill set as well. You're getting a really cohesive team because you don't have people trying to do things that they hate and take 8 hours to do that would take someone else 1 hour. So
I think you're right. I think some of the feedback I've had from the individuals that have been coached by you is that even just knowing, whilst it's nice to take elements from other people and say, I need to replicate that approach or behaviour, it's not necessarily the right approach for some people. So for people to find out for themselves, this is what I'm gifted with, and this is what I'm challenged with, and therefore I can operate best in this environment and this way. I think that's where you'll get a quick change in outcome.
Yeah, and it's the same for internal facing as well as external facing. Like the same things like what you do with your team, you can do with your clients as well. And that's some of the stuff that I've been working with the market leaders on, is understanding your personality style, and then your client's personality style, so that you don't go and approach your client with a certain proposal or a package of work or a report that is just completely wrong for their personality style, and it just gets the relationship off to the wrong foot. So it's about internal facing as well as external facing. So in terms of the people that kind of work directly, have you noticed a shift in the awareness of some of those individuals and the performance of some of those individuals?
Yes and yes. I think that one of the most pleasing parts of it is when I think the conversation after people have done some coaching becomes a different conversation when you're talking about performance or behaviours or any of those things, because there's an awareness and I guess an openness of the individual to want to talk about those issues.
Yeah.
And if you like, some common understanding of how those things work. So that's been quite a revelation, I think, in what I've been doing. Just making those discussions a lot easier. Yeah. Probably a little bit more direct as well in terms of if I was to suggest a change, it's pretty direct. It's what are you avoiding? How do we move this quicker? Yeah.
So it opens up the discussion more for you from a leadership point of view to talk to your market leaders and client relationship managers that you're working with, and having those whether they're robust discussions, but more, you don't have to beat around the bush so much. You can have quite direct communication with people because they're more aware of themselves, their personality style, they're taking responsibility for themselves as well. Yeah.
And just an openness to want to hear it, because they're generally, if someone's been through coaching and they're moving down that path, there's, I guess, a propensity to want to receive feedback and deal and change or improve.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed. And finally, like, has this, I mean, it's ongoing, and like you said, it's early days as well, but so far, has it been a positive and beneficial investment for GHD?
Yeah, it's been positive and beneficial, I'd say. So, I'd like to thank you for your efforts so far. It's obviously good working with you, but it's been a positive experience, I think, for us.
Yeah, great. Mate, I've certainly enjoyed it too, and hopefully, here's to many more. But it's been really enjoyable working with the team at GHD. So, thank you.
Josh.
Thanks for your time.